So we recently saw Bob Dylan at the Tulsa Theater in Oklahoma, and it was a night that I'll never forget. Seriously. I was sitting there with Julia, my fiance Julia, and we had seats in the balcony. They were pretty good seats. I didn't have any footage from the show because they had to put our phones in pouches. So I didn't have a picture of where we were sitting, but it's ingrained in my memory forever. And it's so funny. I had a dream a few months ago that I saw Bob Dylan live. This was the first time I ever saw him live in Tulsa. And it was exactly the same vibe that we had when I sat down in Tulsa. The place looked like, it was definitely an aged theater. It definitely had a vibe that it was not renovated recently. But that being said, it was just such a moment in time experience. And I'm so happy we made the trip. As soon as we sat down in our seats, I told Julia, this is what life is about. It's not the other stuff that we have to do. It's the stuff that we want to do. And that's what it felt like. It really felt like this is what life is about. And I'll cherish these memories forever. I really will. Now, as soon as he went on stage, he opened up with all along the Watchtower. There's a new drummer, Anton Fig, who actually drummed on Empire Burlesque, fun fact. And he did a great job filling in. And he had this booming sort of tom drum that came in for all along the Watchtower. Dylan's guitar playing on this song, he's definitely showing some wear and tear on his playing, if I'm going to be honest. And I think he knows it because he threw his guitar down sort of after he did that and It Ain't Me, Babe. Then he went on the piano, but he was really stellar on the piano at Tulsa. He did some really great piano parts on a lot of the songs, and he freeformed over a lot of the songs. And even when he hits a wrong note, you're still watching Bob Dylan play piano. And it's what I'd imagine if I've read a few of his books, when he used to do his Little Richard sort of stick back in the day when he played piano. It reminded me of that. Just Bob Dylan primally hitting those keys. And all of the songs in the set were just, they were recreated from the last tour he did in the UK, specifically the Royal Albert Hall gigs. A lot of people said that those were the noteworthy gigs. He did 3 nights at Royal Albert Hall. And the set list started with All Around the Watchtower, went into It Ain't Me, Babe. He did a bunch of Rough and Rowdy Ways songs. He did When I Paint My Masterpiece, which had a Istanbul was Constantinople sort of vibe to it, if you know that song. Or, Putting on the Ritz. Like, it had that sort of vibe to it, that guitar part. But it was great. And he did some harp on it as well, some harmonica. And whenever Bob Dylan picks up the harmonica, you know that it's a very special moment. Being in the same room as Bob Dylan playing a harmonica is legendary, to say the least. Now, he did To Be Alone With You off Nashville Skyline, which was a standout moment. And he went into a little intermission, which I don't think is going to be happening for the rest of the tour, but it was kind of cool seeing him say live, like, okay, we're going to take a few minutes, just to catch their breath or whatever, for whatever reason. But it let people go, get a few more drinks, maybe get some merch. And the room was electrifying. They applauded after each and every song, after each and every line that he said. Especially when he mentioned Leon Russell in My Own Version of You. It was, people lost their shit. And he was really enunciating his words a lot at this show, and you could hear his vocals clearly through the PA system. And I know a lot of flack has been had over his last few shows, over the last few years with the Rough and Rowdy Ways tour. But, you know, if you're a fan of Bob, you know he's doing his own interpretation of his songs. He's changing the songs that he wrote live, and you're seeing it happen in first person point of view from Bob. And it's really just an astounding thing to witness, in my opinion, if you're a fan of his. And I was looking forward to this show since it was announced. We bought flight tickets to Tulsa from New Jersey, and we made it, and we had some very special moments with fans. The people who sat next to us traveled to come to the show. The people in back of us traveled. Some other people in the audience we talked to. We went to a brewery before. We saw a cover band covering Bob Dylan. You know, it was just such a communal experience. And even being at the Bob Dylan Center in Tulsa was such a great experience. I could talk about that as well. But I just mainly wanted to recount my experience at the Tulsa show. And we got a cool merch item. It was the Tempest 2012 tour shirt. I'm not sure if these are original tour shirts or if they just remade the tour shirt for this tour, but it was by far the coolest thing at the merch booth, in my opinion. And we got a poster from the show which says Tulsa, Oklahoma on it, which was great. Now, I think my favorite part of the show was when Bob did It's All Over Now, Baby Blue, this new version of it. And his vocals were on point in this song. If you watch videos of it online, it doesn't do it justice to what I saw live, but it sure gets there. It's All Over Now, Baby Blue is such a standout song in his catalog, and hearing it live with him mainly on piano, it was almost him doing a soliloquy to us, a solo performance with some background noise from his band. But it was just really great to see this performed live. All of the songs were great. Some of them, I could tell the crowd, well, at this show, the crowd was into every single moment. I've heard bootlegs of the next few shows, and I've heard unexpectingrain.com, the Bob Dylan forum. People said that the crowd was losing interest, and some of the people are losing interest with the set list. But if you've never seen the Rough and Rowdy Ways tour, this is the time to see it, because it's probably the last time he's going to do the tour. And I know it's been going on for years, but the set list from start to finish, if you lock in and if you don't have your phone out, which you're not allowed to have your phone out, and you just watch the show and be present, it's totally worth it. And I know I've done a lot of rambling in this video, but I'm still on a high from the show. We're seeing him in Williamsport, PA and Pittsburgh, PA, and I'm also going to the Outlaw Festival in September. So that's going to be great. I'm going to that with my mom, which is very special, because we really want to see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan. But yeah, if you were at these shows on this tour, let me know what you thought. I'll be making more content on music in general and Bob Dylan and whatever I've been listening to lately very soon. I want to thank you for watching. And if you're at the Tulsa show or any more shows, let me know what you think. All right, very cool. Thanks.